Okay, looks like we are good to go. Alright, as I struggle to figure out what to say, all of a sudden, another follower right under my nose. We can't just have that. Hold on a minute. Gotta play the dono thingy. Not the dono thingy. The person who followed me thingy. I don't remember how to play that live. Oh, that was something on... What's it called? Elements? Was it Elements? Pretty sure it was Elements. Ah, it was the activity feed. I play the thingy, do it. I'm gonna assume it may have played. Oh, that's embarrassing. Wait, was it through Streamlabs? Did I stop using Stream Elements? Is that what happened? I don't remember, it's been so long. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. For sure. That was totally it. Where is it? Where's the recent events? Bada bing, bada boom. Do the thing! Never gets old. Thank you very much, Aaron Belmont, for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Alright, I hope everybody's doing well as I flounder about trying to just go into Let's Play mode at this point. So you know what? Hey, let's fill some dead air by just rambling and talking and trying to figure this thing out. My old friend, the great Ace Attorney. Soon you will be done, because I really keep forgetting how long of a game it is. But you know what? Hey, anything to get to that second game, which strangely enough I have not been too spoiled on. Ah, there it is. That's lovely. That's so lovely. Okay. We should be hot. Mike should be live. I'ma check and see if we're good. I would say that never gets old. Too late. It's getting kind of old. It's getting kind of old. Right. God, I don't even remember where we last left off in this game. We'll remember. I think what's her face was taking the stand, and we got to figure out. There we go. Oh yeah, Kenobi. God, I do not care about Star Wars anymore. I'm just over it. I cannot care anymore. Last time I cared was episode 7. And then episode 8 came out and everybody had their fun making fun of it. Okay. I'm going to assume. Yeah, okay. That probably sounds fine. Huzzah! Here we go. We're back in this bitch. It's time to do some terrible British impersonations. Accents. The word you were looking for was accents. Ah, well. Can we get the right setup going? No, that's just gonna be a hassle. Don't close out of the game. There you go, in case anybody else wants to show up. I'm fucking finishing this game, I swear to God. We're gonna... Oh, okay, we're right into it. Oh, we're right into it. Oh, okay. Okay, how do I voice these characters again? Okay, we're gonna figure this out. Let's go. Truth is, that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. Hold it! And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of those seats. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord. Oh hey, I jumped right back into it. That's good. That's what we told... What he told me to say. I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. Sick. But I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. Something. They kept talking about buying and not buying. Perhaps business dealings of some kind. Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all. And I believe you let out an involuntary scream. Yeah. That's what gave me away. Huzzah! Glorious recap. When when the Irishman dragged me up from under the seat, I saw the disc on the floor. Was the disc you saw this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove lying on the floor. Could this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps? Silence, email. I know I had a successful log. It was me. I don't know, but McGill picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat him on the cove with the knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at the time? Ooh, excuse me. He told me not to say a word about what had been seen or heard to no one. 'Cause I can read. About the disc and all. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Violent old fucker. Then he started asking me a load of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and all that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Yeah, that's right. First there was a kind of rapping noise. Damn, not the beatboxing. No. All of a sudden I heard a scream from over me head, and that pair on the roof deck went off to all slops. The slops. There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. Yeah, Hercule, Satan, and Twink. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in its guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up on the horses, and McGill got me out of sight. Out of sight? Where? Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to a halt, the two coves from the roof ran to fetch the slops. Oh, I get it. Slops. Pigs eat slops. Pigs. Police. Cute. If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated from the incident. So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open, and a voice from outside. The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe. He's a sweet old man who was just constantly shivering. A fellow who went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves. What did McGilded and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened, and stuff like that mainly. That's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. Hold it! That pawn shop obviously being Windibanks on Baker Street. Just a moment, counsel. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well? That's kind of the theme, old man. I thought we established this. Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbroker slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Van Zeeks. McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up, all careful-like, before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat ain't what it's gotta be. That coat ain't what it's. A coat ain't what's in it. It's gotta be worth a few bob. Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. And the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin. I can't read British. It's an established trait at this point. Threatened me not to snitch. Not to say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard. She didn't do nothing, you see. Nothing. Threatened you how exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scrap her. Be able to scarp her. Cause scrapper makes more sense. Scarper I've never heard of in my entire life. We'll say scrapper. Told me I'd only be able to scrap her if I did exactly what he said. Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago. Yes, twist the knife deeper and deeper. We got it, guys, we got it. Yeah, that's it. And there was one other thing he said. Which was... He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it. The ticket? Well, I never. Said that if he didn't show up to get that ticket off me before 2 months passed, I'd have to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug, to stop it from being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it. But really? Why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all. There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilded had the driver deposit at Windibanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that he let me go, so I legged it before the copper showed up. Well done, Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that. Ginny's really put her faith in you, Runo. Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial is over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible. It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement. I suppose I should. Oh, and another thing. What's that? Ooh? Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange how they've been whispering to each other the entire time? Yes, that is strange. It looks like they're having a secret discussion about something. I'm not sure if I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it. Call him out, ayy. Call him out, ayy. Hold it! Okay, alright. Yep, got it. Oi. Oi.
Excuse me.
Fuck y'all got going on? Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector! Mr. Graydon! Wah! Blimey, you trying to give me a heart attack? You've been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about? Snitch Central, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, you love to see it. Discussion? With this fella? Pull the other one, Sunshine. Oh my god, the camera, no! We'll say that's fine. Pretty sure that's fine. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You think I've got anything to talk about with this shady jet like this? And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine. But they've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating. Oh ho. Thank you, Miss Lestrade. Thank you, counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus. It would appear on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiating concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point! This disc is extremely valuable in some way! Although I don't understand why as of yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cove died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own? Well, why not, eh? They were gonna be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have gotten them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be? I ain't got a clue. Yeah, that's my job as the defense to figure out all of the speculation. Wow, we're just falling over. Everything's falling at the seams. I really gotta figure out what's the best way for this camera angle to work, or at least for the wires to like stop. Pretty sure that's fine. Whatever. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. Ooh, excuse me. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. Lord. The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir. Oh shit. I think the disc was inspected. So now we're gonna see what's what. Or the box, fuck me, it has been a minute. The mysterious little box deposited by McGilded 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. Oh, god damn it, was I really that close to a saving point? I'm pissed! Pissed! Well, whatever. God, that is just engraved in my mind. That's been my email notification for like... I don't know if the microphone could hear any of that. My mom's having the time of her life, possibly watching NFL, SNL. I wonder if they're still funny. Anyway. So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, quick! Let's open it and see what's inside! God damn it, it's a fucking music box! Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems. Wow! Although in truth, I had an inkling it might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Because of course it does. Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Oh shit. So, here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc, deposited at Windibank's at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the Brickmaster was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on this disc, my lord. Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to the curious disc at last. Oh, who the fuck? Oh, wait, my lord. Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box and the disc are, rather unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music. Stop, you're fucking up my case. Shut the fuck up. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit into this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection. But no! That piece of evidence is police property! Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. It is the policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. No further delays, please. Play the disc! Alright, whose fucking mixtape is on this shit? Oh my god, please make it stop. It's terrible. What on earth? This shit trash. Fuck. God, if I had headphones, I'd do my best to recreate the meme of the dude taking off his headphones. It's just like That's certainly not what I would call music. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Oh. Oh, right. Mr. Graydon? This is really priceless. After all that, the music box is broken. Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Are you ready to move on, counsel? Come on. Yes, alright, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? Since I've played the game, yes. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel. Mere noise. I fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever. Insert music of your choice to hate on here. Nothing's immediately coming to my mind. I'm just reading the script. It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. Oh, that was his mixtape. That was trash. Damn, Gregson, you gotta like that. That's crazy. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh! Oh! God, please make it stop. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? Oh. A text, one I shall address later. It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is broken, an unusual genre. I've played the game already. It's not music. Yeah, shut that shit off. Trash. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Surely you have an idea in mind? Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Runo, I've just examined the music box very thoroughly, and I'm barely certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. A single note. Oh my god, why are they playing it again? Make it stop! Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one the music box makes. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. Here we go, here we go. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. That's my job, shut up. And your assertion of... I always keep wanting to say assert. Is assertion even a word? Pause for a brief second. Is assertion even a word? La-da-dee, la-da-doo, assertion. Is that even a word? Okay, it's the act of asserting. I'm using the noun version. Wait, but assertion's also noun. Shit! Oy vey. Okay. And your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all. Then what the devil is it, Counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. Please get on with it. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... know the answer. But the question is... what piece of evidence do I present? Save scum, go! Bum bum bum. I know the answer. Come on, alright. It's not difficult at all. I briefly, I remember the answer. It's just a matter. Bum bum bum. Wait. Hold it. Okay, hold on. Was it here? No, I think it was on the back. Okay, that's evidence number one. Wait. Evidence number two. Bum, bum, bum. Evidence number two. Fuck it. It's the best thing I've got. Here we go. Success. Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker Perishes in Pick Purse Plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down? Ministry Mole? Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice? Yes, this is a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that the international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Stop. Oh, me, sir. Whatever is the matter? You told the court before you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code? But I don't believe it! Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code? We got him. Order! Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment. Too much new vocabulary. What is treason, and what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I half expect you to know. Our sovereign government's confidential information. For our sovereign governmental's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it, and in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? Aha. You think you've been stealing governments? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Huzzah! We love it when the prosecution works. Delighted, I'm sure. The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. That being a most flagitious big break. The hell does flagitious mean? If that's even what that means. Flagitious. Oh, the volume's low.
Flagitious.
Flagitious? Flagitious is criminal? Is villainous? Flagitious? Why? Flagitious. We love it when the game teaches you more vocabulary. Big fun. Big fun. But the heinous act of high treason is no less a serious crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us. What the fuck? Who? Whomstv? Who? What? You gotta let us have a rabbit and a pork here, Governor. We've got things to say. I beg your pardon? Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland. That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers. I still don't know if the microphone can pick up Mom, but that was a perfectly timed laugh. Wait, the stream stopped working? What happened? Wait, come back. Cool, I think it's still working. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. Yes, get on with it. We're getting ever closer. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to this man. Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like we told us it would. If we had known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Is that so? Mr. and Mr. Shulk. I keep wanting to say Shulkin. Skulkin. One Mr. O'Doul, Governor. What's up? Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here? Shit! Amazing. We love it when the criminals figure themselves out. Quieten down, please. Quieten down. Quieten down, please. What do you say to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these 2 ruffians are referring to. You little rotter, getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government-bized secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't even have to die, did he? Ugh. Nice to know who your friends are. And who your brothers are as well. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence. Huzzah! Shobza. Alright. But very quickly, let's take a gander at the new evidence. What do you have to reveal to us? Reveal us your secrets. This is the mechanism that turns the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it? Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to the comb with its teeth that are plucked by the passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the comb are different lengths, so each one produces a different tone. But this comb is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length. Well, what does it mean? It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. I've never seen a music box like it before. Yes, it is strange. A music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. Oh, it's a thingy at the bottom. Oh, what is it, Bruno? I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Ah, you're right. Oh, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it. All right then. Here it goes. Look at that. There's another movement on the underside. So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together. They're linked. So if you had 2 discs, they would both play back at the same time. Huzzah! We are 1 step ahead of the game. So now we have opened up the possibility of 2 music discs. But anyway, we will figure that out later. So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted? How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh no! Stop! Must say something! Stop! Let me guess. Juror number 5! We regular communications station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. That's fascinating. Graydon is a highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of an idol. Stop. So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon? Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. In any case, all messages are sent enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. You call him out. Yes, call him out. Yes. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. He's received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. That's fascinating. Shut his ass up. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you kept your mouth shut. She should really pick her idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Oh, really? Hold it! It's not even Morse code. It's properly set up to be Morse code. They're not? To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to the music box for even a few seconds. Of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch! He looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Ha ha ha. I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir. A lesson here in court? Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones. Tones, you say? Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. I see. For example, this is an A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it has the same and everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of events. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. No! Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future. Aspersions? Ugh. Stop. Nothing to say, but stop. Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Iris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Well, I mean, sure. But but it seems impossible right now, I suppose. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required: dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to decipher secret messages into Morse code? Well, golly gee willikers, it's almost like we discovered that in the very beginning. So let's just run through the dialogue that we've already presented. And bada bing bada boom, it's another thing on the backside, hell yeah. We've already hit everything from the front, now we hit it from the back. Oh, good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What? Bum bum bum. It appears, my lord, that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With the second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry. This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't, at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over a disc or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Well, shit. The wind in my sails. Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear. It looks like you'll need to give your argument more strength, Runo. You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must. Though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Did I have hiccups? Oh no. Quick break. I will address hiccups. Oh my god. I didn't remember you can use the wheel for that. PRB, right back. Couple seconds. We're bagging this bitch. We're bagging this bitch. Alright. No relation. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGill had killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seemed he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but the people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How could a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed? There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take that to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. You fucking smug asshole. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. Nothing on him pertaining to the dude. Why did I think that would do anything? Well, nothing's immediately coming to mind, so... Hold it! Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me thought we was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the rotter had a dodgy job for us. Eh, Ash? Ash? Let me stop you right there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know. Surely, let's say Graydon's an old China. Old China? Oh. Excuse me! A positive reaction. Him and his little chubby cheeks. It's adorable. Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who, me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash, I mean. You look at how... you look at him all now in his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. Adam and Eve it? You look at him now in his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. Is it a phrase? Not only can I not read British, I cannot comprehend British. Fascinating. But when we was younger, we was from the poor old part of town, just like us. Is that so? But he was always a leery one. He had the brains. He had the savvy. Always coming up with the smart ideas and like what we would never have gone through in our heads. Core blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oi! The geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering it. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. What's wrong with bringing in fruit? They're just trying to stay nutritious. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know, could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Added to the testimony. My lord. Yes, counsel? The brothers' last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Say no more! A Skoken's never Skoken. But what would that... Late. Oh, but where could we possibly... what would be the right piece of evidence to present at this point? Because... Oh, wait. Does it... Hold on. Am I tripping? I mean, unless we... Aha! There we go, there we go! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I'm about to fuck up your testimony really quick. Bada bing, bada. That's bullshit! Nah, I was right. It's his fucking last name. Bullshit. I ain't taking that L. Run it back. Maybe I should have just pressed it in the first place. That's also viable. I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals. That's what we was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what? The name. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skoken's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? All right, I thought a clever cogs like you would have worked that out. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? Oh. Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because well, it weren't the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. Struggles. She took the name Graydon then, see? But Ash will always be Milverton to us. Milverton? So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bumpkin. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves? You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable. For once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. It can turn out to be extremely important, because I already know what's extremely important. Oh, let's not bang on the thing. Huzzah, he was Milverton years ago. But what does it mean? All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Windibanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon on the omnibus with Mr. McGilded. No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers. Hopefully from another mother, because Jesus Christ, how did they turn out so different? Aha! Here we are. It was this one you needed to point out. Wait. I mean...
Objection!
Okay, good. Very good. Very strong. Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason the brickmaker. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say... Saints alive! Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I don't... As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you had been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it to Mr. McGilded in collaboration with your father. He's going into a tailspin, folks. We got him on the fucking ropes. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded. By dint of this music box, you mean, counsel? Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learnt of the situation, you appeared at Windibanks 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover those 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. Oh, a loss for words. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed, the intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone: the music box. As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed. So the question that naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious: because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. What? Oh. 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Dun dun dun. He's got you now, me old China. Fucking rats! Oh, I love it! Time to call it quits and a croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Dun dun dun. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windibanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. Well. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded? As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down without a fight. Not until I can show some hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is? Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch of Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windibank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed, it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windibank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder. Goodness! That's right, Mr. Graydon. Ugh. The only person who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank that night is you! Oh, shit.
Hold it!
God, what now? You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbroker's. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd put for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see. This makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. What? Wait, no, actually, what? What is he talking about? Are you suggesting... I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker, and shot him! You what? This is bullshit. They're just bullshit at this point. Order! 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 Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
No. No, we're not. I don't believe you. It's still going.
Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. Then I must ask you... Oh, that's the yawns. That's the yawns kicking in. How long have we been going? An hour and 38. I did start a little bit later than usual. How long do I want to keep going? 2 hours? 2 hours? 2 hours. We'll say 2 hours. Grapes and raisins shall be my guide. Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Let's get it on! While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windibank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black cloak, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood splatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked up and made my escape.
Why the fuck would you pick up someone else's gun? For what reason? For what literal fucking reason?
Good gracious! This is quite extraordinary testimony. Look at him so smug with his lies, You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger? Order! 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 It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. You say the blood splattered over the accused's coat? Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? If her coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are of no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. The nerve of some people. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission, we could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes. This doesn't look good, Bruno. Why not? Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat. If they test it with their chemicals... Oh, help! You're right! I was forgetting what happened yesterday. What did happen yesterday? Oh, right. Don't move, Ginny! I'm going to shoot! We already did test the blood. Whose blood was on it anyway? It was purple. But that's not Mr. Windibank's blood. That's the stain from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood, from when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. Wait, why do we not want to... With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with this cross-examination. Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel? Yes, my lord. Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. I'm getting tired. It's time to stop. No more. Save the thing. Alright, that's about enough that I'm going to put in for today. Alright. More bullshit abound, and the end is getting closer and closer and closer. But we'll get there. We shall get there. Hey, we made it to 53 followers. That's a pretty big deal. I don't even know where Auron Belmont came from, but I'm greatly appreciative of them following me on this today. So with that being said, thank you all. Hope you all enjoyed. If you're watching this from the future or whatnot, or past me, hi past me, or I guess future me. I know how time works. Please, I know how time works. I'm just flabbergasted, I suppose. Still need to get comfortable in front of the camera, and I suppose this is a good practice for that. So you know what? I'm gonna stop rambling. Gonna find a way to clear my sinuses. And I will stuff my stomach with food, cause the bitch be growling. Thankfully not on stream though. So you know what? Goodbye. Hope y'all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, what have you, dawn. We'll include dawn, since we want to include night, why not? Include all time phases, I guess, whatever. I'm rambling. I hope y'all have a fantastic whatever time you're on. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Bye-bye!